Hi, second graders. Back again. We're going to talk about science today. Chapter 5, What Fossils Show Us. So we've been learning about what do fossils tell us about dinosaurs. We know that scientists can observe things, but how do they observe things from the past? We use rocks and fossils that give us clues that what life was like back then. On page 72 and 73, we discussed three very important vocabulary words. The first of which was worldview. Worldview is a way of looking at something or understanding the world. So there's two main beliefs that we discussed in this chapter. First one was creation. The Bible says that God spoke and made the earth. The people who believe in creation believe this. They believe that God created all things, and they believe what the Bible says is true. They also have a biblical worldview. The second worldview is evolution. They think that the earth came about by chance. They believe that it changed many times. They believe that the changes were made very slowly over a long period of time, and their worldview is not based on the Bible. But the scientists, they share clues and they use fossils to find out. A fossil is the remains of a living thing that died long ago. They have all kinds of clues that scientists can use to explore what the earth was like. Moving on to page 76, there are different kinds of fossils. We learned about petrified wood. Petrified wood is like solid, like a rock. It's not like what you would see with the trees outside. Sometimes the mud hardens around a living thing and the living thing dies and rots. It leaves its shape in the rock. And so that kind of fossil is called a mold. That's the other one. You can see the picture there on page 76. It's kind of pretty, isn't it? Amber is another type of fossil. It's not a rock. It's actually made from hardened tree sap. And sometimes when the sap was still kind of liquidy, it would trap an insect and then eventually harden into what almost was a rock. Then on page 77, we can see an example of what a woolly mammoth looks like. Looks like a gigantic elephant. So scientists have found fossils in places where the land was always frozen. They are called frozen fossils. Frozen fossils are large animals. One kind of frozen fossil is that of a woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoths look like a hairy elephant. The fossils of these mammoths show they were buried quickly and then frozen. Some of them still had food in their stomachs and seeds in their mouth. It must have happened very suddenly. So we have a couple of different fossils there to look over. Oh, here's another one. Dinosaur fossils. The vocabulary word to take away from this one is extinct. Extinct means that none of the animals of its kind are alive anymore. So dinosaurs lived long ago, but we don't have any more dinosaurs here on Earth. We know that dinosaurs were once alive. The Bible describes some animals that may have been dinosaurs. Scientists have found dinosaur fossils. Some fossils that have been found are dinosaur eggs. That is how scientists know that some dinosaurs laid eggs. You may think of dinosaurs as very large animals. We know from their bones that some dinosaurs were very large, but some were not very big at all. They were many different sizes, and some were as small as chickens. All right, moving on to page 80 and 81. It talks a little bit about dinosaurs like the Stegosaurus. You can see a picture of it there on page 81. When you look at it, what do you see? It moves on all fours. It had these big plates on its back. And then look at its tail. What do you guys see on its tail? I see some spikes. Over on page 80, you can see a scientist standing next to, well, kind of squatting there next to a big dinosaur bone. That's huge. Moving on to page 82 and 83. It talks about the Tyrannosaurus rex. You can see a picture there. And then there's also a fossilized T-Rex tooth there that you can take a look at. And then on page 83, the end of dinosaurs. Most people and the land animals died during the flood. Before the flood, God told a man named Noah to build an ark. The ark was to keep Noah and his family safe. God also told Noah to take animals on the ark. Noah took 2 of every kind of animal, including dinosaurs. After the flood, the earth changed. Dinosaurs may not have been able to meet their needs. They became extinct. Today, we know about dinosaurs. Today, what we know about dinosaurs comes from the clues that fossils give us. So, let's see here. I want to make sure there were no other vocabulary words. So yeah, the only ones that I'm more concerned about are worldview, creation, evolution, fossil, and extinct. Extinct means that none of the animals of its kind they no longer are alive. Fossils is the remains of a living thing, and then we went over worldview, creation, and evolution. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, I'm available on the LMS chat. I'm also available through Zoom and on Dojo. I hope you guys are having a great afternoon. We'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye, guys.